Good morning, citizens. Today is August 31st. Actually, it's quite close to midnight. It is a few minutes, 5 minutes away from September 1st. I cannot believe it is September already. I will be returning to work soon, so I'm going to have a little bit less time. I've actually been away from the home, so I haven't been playing Star Citizen. Haven't really been taking part in much of the ship showdown voting or anything because I've been quite busy, and I've just arrived for a very short time this evening, and I'm going to be leaving early in the morning for another couple days, so it's going to be even longer before getting back into the verse. But I just happened to look here and I saw this, which kind of surprised me because I thought it would be the top 4 in the ship showdown would be available for a free fly, but it turns out it's the top 8, and there's a free fly going on right now. So looking here, now through September 7th, Star Citizen is free to download and play. So if you do not have a game account, you do not have a game package, you can still play the game, and you're actually going to be able to take part by using the top 8 vehicles for free in the game. To try them out, to see which ones made the ship showdown, I'm going to go through that and kind of look at the ship showdown at the same time. And so this is basically free until says the September 7th, so you got about a week to play the game and try it out. And discounted starter packs are available till September 8th. And the ships that are available to fly, we have the 600i, which I think is an awesome ship. I've never really loved the look of it on the exterior, but the interior is one I love. There is an awesome bedroom right down at the front to check out. There is just a cool interior. However, the actual layout of the ship is going to change. They're going to change it up and modify it because this is one of the modular ships where a center section is supposed to be swappable between the touring version, which is like a hotel, and the explorer version, which has like a cargo hold that lifts down, and you can put in vehicles and cargo in there, which is pretty cool. Check that out. We do have the Arrow, a ship that I hardly ever have flown, so I really don't have a lot of experience with the Arrow. Constellation Andromeda, there is various versions of the Constellation. The Taurus has a little more cargo capacity, but it loses the snub fighter. All the other constellations, including this one, I believe, have a snub fighter that you can dock and undock from the ship, so you actually get 2 ships with this ship. We have the Corsair, a relatively new ship, although it's been in development for quite a long time. It's got the 1 wing on one side, 2 on the other. It's got a cool interior, an elevator that allows you to walk around the roof, which I think is kind of cool, and I wish more ships had something like that. Flight characteristics, as far as I remember, were pretty crappy, but now that it's free to fly, I'm going to try it out and see if they've really improved. The Cutter, which is one of the new starter ships, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. We have the Redeemer, the Terrapin, which is a cool looking ship, but so far still not really super well used in the game, and not a lot of people fly them. The Vulture, a ship for salvage, one of the entry-level salvage ships, and I think it's an awesome ship. So there we go. On top of that, we do have some ship showdown starter packs. You can get the starter packs. Starter packs include both the ship and a game download, so that you're able to actually enjoy and play the game by getting one of these. But you don't need to do this right now during this free fly event, so you can actually try these out and see which ones you like. But I'm going to go through both of these since I do have access to both these in games. I'm going to kind of show you what I think about them, and then on top of that, you'll be able to go into the verse and try it for yourself and see if you like where Star Citizen is right now and whether you would like to play this game. Now, if you do need to make an account before you start the free fly or before you get a starter pack, do remember to use a referral code. There is a referral code up in the corner of the screen here. If you have a friend, use the referral code. If you haven't made an account yet, just click the link in the description below, and that'll automatically make sure it's entered. Unfortunately, there's no real current referral giveaway going on right now, but where the starting money here says 1,000 UEC, there's a 5,000 bonus just by using referral code. Now, once you have a game package, you're able to use a referral code and get a bonus. Now, if you do decide to make an account to try out the free fly and you decide not to get Star Citizen, you're going to wait, maybe do it some other time, maybe wait to see if there is a referral bonus. As long as you use the referral code when you made your account in the future, when you get the game, that's when it is applied, and then you can take part in one of the referral bonuses. Now, if you do, like I said, have a friend and they have a referral code, ask them what it is. You can always make that part of your package when you're starting to make your game, when you're making your account. So both of these packages are pretty equal. I mean, $45 US. This is the same price as normally in Aurora. Both of these are a step up from Aurora or the Mustang. These are better ships. They both have pluses and minuses. Overall, I would actually lean towards the Cutter, but I'm going to go through why the C8X might be the ship for you. You do get 24 months insurance, which is 2 years of insurance. That doesn't really matter, especially right now because there is no insurance in game. This can only really take effect when the game is fully released. Right now, it doesn't really matter. Self-land hangar will matter sooner. Hopefully, we're getting our hangars back. We used to have a hangar module. You could actually kind of check out your hangar and look at your ships. It was kind of separate from the game, but they kind of removed it. And hopefully it comes back where you'll, in at least one location, have kind of your own personal hangar. And the self-land hangar is like the basic hangar, but there are other ships that come with different hangars as well. I'm not really sure how each ship coming with its own hangar is going to work. I'm doubting you're going to have 14 hangars out there, just maybe choices of which hangars you'll use. So before we get into actually look at these ships, which will happen in a moment, I'm just going to quickly go to the ship showdown itself. We're going to look at the current standing of the ships and what I would like to see going forwards. These are your current round ships. So we do have the Anvil Arrow and the Redeemer here. Those are currently up against each other. Redeemer is winning by quite a bit. I'm expecting that one to go on. Next will be the Terrapin and the Vulture. Now the Vulture, like I said, is the entry-level salvage ship. I think personally it should definitely move on. Although I'm expecting, because the Terrapin was kind of the ship to vote for to beat the Carrack, a lot of people are going to vote for it to go all the way. If it beats the Vulture, I'll be kind of upset about that because I really think the Vulture is a currently more useful and better ship in the game. Also a relatively new ship, but the argument is there's a lot of paints for the Vulture, and people are voting paints for this one. So we'll see how that goes. I would really like the Vulture to at least make it into the top 4. Redeemer and Arrow. I voted Arrow just because I kind of prefer to do things solo more than crew, and I find Redeemer's more of a crew ship. But I'm not surprised the Redeemer made it because the Redeemer was kind of always a fan design ship and a fan favorite ship. Both these ships are cool. Honestly, I do like flying the Terrapin, so it's not the worst if it goes ahead. I'm just personally voting for Vulture. Looking at the Corsair and the Andromeda, out of the two, I'm expecting Corsair to win. Honestly, I'm going to be voting for the Andromeda. I don't like the exterior of the either ships, but overall I kind of like the Andromeda as a ship to fly. It just feels better flight characteristics wise, and although the Corsair does have a ton of guns pilot controlled, I'm really not into the fact of making something where it's like the ultimate ship of all the guns being controlled by one person. I think, man turrets have a position, and the cargo capacity of the Andromeda makes it something more versatile to me. Plus, it's got the ability to have a second ship that undocks and docks. I think it's awesome. Cutter versus Explorer. I'm seeing a ton of people voting for the Cutter. I'm expecting the Terrapin or Cutter to reach number 1, and the reason why is because the Terrapin's the meme vote for this year. I mean, it's got a little more use than the Argo MPUV, but it's really currently in the game, besides its looks and its kind of solid durability, it's not a super useful ship, and there's a reason why I don't see them out there. You see Cutters all around. Cutter is affordable. Cutter is cheap. Cutter is awesome. People are going to look at getting the Cutter. I can see it going all the way, and unfortunately, I think that's going to hurt the Explorer, which is a better ship all around. But if you're looking at cost, the amount of money that costs to get a Cutter, what you get out of it versus what you get for an Explorer, there's quite a big difference. Like the Explorer, I'm not sure how much it is. Let's see if we can see that here. I don't know if it's actually even available at the moment. So let's go 600. It's got the Explorer. Buying options. $475 for that ship now. That is a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, not as much as getting an exploration pack, where, like I said, the cutter itself, if you're getting a standalone cutter, I believe it's about the same price as the current game package. Am I right about that? Let's see. So, standalone ship, $45. Starter pack, $45. If you are thinking of getting a cutter, do not get the Showdown Edition standalone ship. The fact that right now you can get the game package for the same price is much better. And the reason why is not because of upgradability. Because if you go with ship upgrades and you're upgrading your cutter, the extra money you spent on here isn't going to matter. But what will matter is that it's giftable. So you can actually then, and one day in the future, if you have 2 game packages, send this gift to someone else and give them a little bit of a treat of having this awesome ship for, for use. Also, you'll have 2 game packages in your account, and for some reason in the future, they have plans on how that's going to work. Whether it's making an NPC character that you can then inherit when your character eventually dies is one idea. Having a more useful account, or maybe able to switch between 2 characters on one account. No one's really sure how it works yet, but the fact that it's the same price, absolutely go for the starter pack over the regular pack. The Pisces, is that also? Let's look real quick. Is that also? I don't know if you can get it right now. I think you can. Standalone. Standard edition. No, it's not showing me. Oh no, it's this one right here. So yeah, it's the same as well. $45. So you're basically getting the game for free. Again, if you decide to go with the Pisces, make sure you do not get the Pisces Expedition, but get the starter pack, even if you already have a game account. So we're going to go into the verse now. We're going to kind of look at this, and we're going to see what both ships are like. I think I'm going to go ahead to Port Olisar, since that's going away soon. Might as well spend a little bit of time at PO while we check out these ships. First ship first, we're going to check out the Anvil C8X Pisces. It's on pad 2, which is this way. Now, this is a ship that if it's ever reduced, I normally say go for this one as a starter. And there's a few reasons why, but one of the big reasons why is just for the money what you're getting for $45 as a game package is superior to both the Mustang and the Aurora for sure. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, so good. Now, I forgot to take the paint off. This is the Best in Show paint. I finally got one. This one's taking a little bit of damage, but the reason why I got one was because of the fact that this ship can be called on a ground pad. So if you're at a place like that has platinum bays, little tiny pads that you can get like ground vehicles on, you can also get the Pisces from there. Now, it's a cool little ship. It's got a couple guns here. It looks like, to me, the shuttlecraft from Enterprise, but this is the red Best in Show paint on there. It is a cool ship. Very small, very easy to get into and out of. All you do is you open the gate and you're at the pilot seat. That is it. There's a jump seat on either side for passengers. There is 4 SU of cargo space. You have 2 here and 2 here, so you're able to run small amounts of cargo. You're able to run, say, even doing the salvage missions where you're finding cargo on ships and putting it in here. Technically, if you're willing to do a little bit of squeezing by, you can fit more in here, but if you pack more in the middle, you can't get out of the ship because there's only the one entry and exit. But it's a pretty cool ship. I like it in some ways better than the rescue version because the rescue version has 2 doorways. There's like a little clean room here. This one's so fast to get into and out, and that's what makes it, in my mind, an awesome ship. Now, looking on here, we're going to just quickly fly it around and then land it. So when we're going to power it up, you can see it's got 4 weapons standard. It's got its Omni Sky and it's got its Bulldogs. Those are there. I'm also going to quickly show you range Now if we look here, we're sitting at Port Alsar. Now if I set a route to Microtech, we're looking here, we can make that route. It's almost all of our fuel. We got 645 quantum fuel. It's going to take 563.32 with its current setup. So not super massive range, so this isn't going to do well in a place like Pyro, but to start out is pretty solid and pretty awesome, and it's super cheap to fill up fuel. Now flight characteristics, you can see it handles quite well. This is just, it's flying at standard speed, but if we can get it up to full speed here, we'll do a little bit of a boost just to get up to full speed. In space, we're looking at about 1200, I think. 1149 meters per second. Not bad at all. Now we're outside of the armistice zone, so I can shoot. We have our Bulldogs, and we have our Omni Sky. We can fire all together, so you're able to do a little bit of fighting, take on some of the original starter missions when you're doing things like the starter bounties, or even just a little bit of PvP. It's not going to hold up well, but to start out doing anything that the Aurora Mustang does, this one will do a little bit better, as well as if you crash or your ship gets destroyed, someone even pad rams you and you're near a point of interest, you can claim it and you can get it back. Now I put the claim times, I'll put them up on the screen here because I forgot to check, see what they are, but the difference between the C8X Pisces and the Cutter is 1 second. They're very close in claim time. So we're going to head back to Port Alsar. We're going to request a landing. So I got to clear my route. I don't need to worry about that right now. And we're going to check out quickly the Cutter, which I think normally I love the C8X Pisces because the fact you can claim it on the ground, but overall I think the Cutter will be a better starter. It's the one that I would suggest people go for, but really the choice is yours. Definitely both of these are better than the standard starter pack currently available. So we're gonna request landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There we are. Now I am in the minority, I think, with these boxes that are showing you where to land. There used to be splines, so when you come into the city, there's basically like flight patterns to come in and out of the city. How do you exit and enter? I kind of miss those. I really liked how they looked. I like how these little wings fold up when you're coming in for landing as well. That's kind of cool.
Landing gear deployed. Landing complete.
So we are landed. I'm not going to do too much with the ship. I'm not going to do any combat with either of these ships. I just want to give you quick little tours of them. This one is super quick because it's so small. But it's a free fly event, so go check it out. Somebody just spawned a dragon, or a cutlass. I almost call it a dragonfly. I don't know why. Look at this. The Cutter, ship number 2 to look at, sitting out there. It's got a cool little paint on it right now. I can't remember what paint this is. Again, oh, that is not the door I want to go through. Not the standard paint, I believe. It's just the paint that was with the Cutter when it originally came out. That's one of the arguments people have had, that some ships have too many paints, but new ships seem to get a lot of paints, and the Cutter is no exception. But I do like this kind of rusty orange paint on here. So orange and green, I think is pretty cool. I'm not really sure what the Expo colors this year will be, but if the undersuits are any indication, it's going to be like an orange and a yellow and a brown, which I think will be kind of cool because I'm getting tired of blue and reds. I'd like something more earthy. I would love green, as you all know. Oh, I should close this before we get in there. We should look at the outside. Now, I love the sound of the Cutter. That's one thing with this new ship, is it sounds amazing. But we have the Cutter here, and if you watch the little animations, these little tabs here will kind of, these little fingers will like grasp the top edge as this opens up. It's got some maneuvering thrusters. These thrusters here look like they were ripped off of the Vulture. It's got some more maneuvering thrusters here. We've got these cool windows with blast shields that you can open and close on them. A really solid Drake looking ship. If you have any Drake ships, or if you've seen Drake ships, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is a cool little ship. It looks, honestly, smaller than what it feels like when you're inside it. So we're going to now go in here. I'm going to try to quickly look at these little fingers. There, you can see they kind of close and open. I love the sound of these Drake ships. Now, we have cargo only here as a cargo grid. So when you put cargo in here, it snaps in. Now, it's actually 4, just like the Pisces, but as opposed to having 2 on one side, 2 the other, this is 2 by 2, so you can stack them up here. You can put cargo over here as well, but again, you'll block this entranceway. Also, it's not snapped into the grid. The one advantage this ship has over the Pisces is that you can fit a small vehicle in here. Not too many, but there's a few little things. Unfortunately, you can't fit a rock in here, but you can fit like a mole in, is it a mole? A mule. A mule in here. Definitely can't fit a mole in here. Although, when salvage becomes a thing and you can salvage the entire ship into boxes, I bet you could fit part of a mole into here. We have components here. So these are all the different components you can work on. So this is kind of like your engineering area as well as your cargo area. It's got these cool little windows on the side, so when you're landing on a planet, you can at least kind of look to the edges to see if there's anything in the way or anyone's around before you open it up. We're going to go in here. This ship has internal doors, like little levers on them, so it's actually have a living quarters before you get to the cockpit. So you got a bed, you can do bed logging. Another advantage over the Pisces, which is why I would kind of suggest this. It's got a little food prep area, I'm assuming eventually. It's got a fire extinguisher eventually when fire becomes a thing. Cool around here. How do I open this? There we go. We also have the bathroom shower area. So all works together. We've got like a shower nozzle up top. We've got somehow... Is that it? There we go. Toilet. Sink. Pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it's got like a large interior for what looks like a smaller ship. Like most ships that Star Citizen has, they've kind of gone away with the animation of getting into your pilot seat like the Aurora has, or even things like the Gladius, which has the So, like most ships, CIG has done away with the animation of getting into your ship, like how the Aurora has, where you kind of squeeze by the ship components and get inside the seat. They all kind of have the same design now, where you get in a seat and it's either you turn around and sit into it, or you sit into it and it moves around for you. And this is definitely one of them. There is some weird graphical glitch going off on the edges here. So when I get into the ship here, you see you sit in the seat, and then the seat lifts up and moves you into place. Now, I guess this kind of works in the way of other Drake ships, because Drake itself, the Drake Cutlass, has seats that lift you up into place. This one's very similar. We have the exterior view here. Again, it's got this paint is a little bit different than I think the standard paints on here. We're going to power the ship up. We're going to check. We got 3 MFDs. So you can kind of set those however you want, just like the other ship here. We're going to do the same test on range, and this is another reason why I think this ship is a better starter for most people. Going to go to Microtech again. We're going to set the route. 337.98 out of 6,000. I don't know, SEU? Is that the same units? They must not be, but the 6,000 units of Quantanium. Your jump fuel in this ship is massive. And if you're looking at going to Pyro, when Pyro comes out, and Pyro is such a large open area, the travel times are going to be bigger, the distances are bigger. Having a ship with a massive amount of fuel on it is at an advantage. So much better to do that. On here also, if we hit K, we have a VTOL mode, which is helpful for if you're trying to lift off faster, or if you're having something heavy. Currently, with this little ship, I don't think weight will ever be an issue, but the VTOL mode is pretty cool. It doesn't feel to me as fast as the Pisces, but it's not sluggish by any means. It's still a pretty cool ship. We're going to go back in, and I can't remember where the switch is, so let's find that. Retract landing gear. Let's do that anyways. Exit. Aim assist. Quantum drive. Where is... Oh, what's that? That's my multi-tool. What's that? Deploy. There we go. So now if I go, I've put deploy. Now if I look over here, the blast shields are up. Those are the blast shields I was talking about. So if I look on the outside, you can see those little covers over the windows now. And if I then take that off, retract, those cutters are gone. Those shields are gone on the cutter. So kind of a cool feature. Not super useful at the moment, but overall, I think in the future when they have designs that are that physical armor are going to be a thing. So once your shields are done, having a little bit of protection on the side for your pilots so they're not going to get shot in the head, pretty useful as well. So we're going to do one last test with this. Just like the other ship, we're going to go as fast as we can. The boost on this ship doesn't last super long time, but more than enough to get you up to full speed. Full speed in this one, in space, not quite the same as the Pisces, but 100 meters a second slower, so it's a little bit slower at full speed, which isn't horrible. It's still alright. In Atmo, the characteristics of each of them are a bit different. So those are the two ships, the Cutter and the Pisces. If you want to check it out, again, don't buy it right away. Make yourself an account, use referral code, get in the verse, try out all the ships, and play the game. But if you're going to buy a ship, I always say start with something relatively cheap, and you can always upgrade later, or you can always get another ship later. But right now, we're going to try these two ships and see what you like. The Pisces and the Cutter. Also check out the Vulture, give Salvage a try, see what you like, and don't forget to vote for the Ship Showdown to get some ships to go all the way to #1. And those ships, the top 4, are going to be getting paints during the expo, and they're usually going to be getting some sort of reduced price as far as a game package, or some war bond upgrades usually happen for those ships as well. So until next time, hopefully I'll see you guys soon in the verse. I'm going to be gone until at least Monday, maybe Tuesday, so don't expect any news from me until then. But hopefully I will see you guys soon. Goodbye, everybody. I think it's time for me to get some sleep. Good night, everyone.